What to do with all this old analog gear now that most of my fleet's digital? Hey everybody, I am Bacon Ninja, and if you've been in FPV for a while, you probably have some old analog gear laying around. I know I do. I haven't even been in FPV that long, and most of my fleet is going digital now. So I've got some extra VTXs, extra cameras, extra antennas. So I got to thinking, what could I do with some of this gear that I have laying around? I mean, I have a nice set of goggles, but all these transmitters just doing nothing in my drawer. Well, I started looking around and I found a lot of little FPV cars that are coming to the market, but most of them are like this size, a Matchbox car. If I want to play with this, I'll just ask my son to put a track together and we'll let gravity do all the work. That's not super interesting to me. So, last night, I had an idea. Let's FPV the Redcat Windego. If you haven't heard of the Redcat Windego, it is a rock racer from Redcat Racing. I actually built this particular Windego by hand from a kit, painted the shell, all that stuff myself a long time ago on this channel, back when I was really into RC trucks before I found the holy grail of drones. Not everything in FPV has to be a drone, right? Right. So let's see what we can do to this Windego. I started by trying to find a way to mount the FPV camera in this rig, and what I come up with was removing one of the heads of the drivers in the cockpit and putting the JB Edition Runcam Phoenix in there with a couple of extra standoffs and 3D printed parts. Then I moved on to the VTX, and for that I went with the Rush Tank Solo because it will actually power the camera off of a 5-volt regulator inside of it when I hook this thing to VBAT. Fewer wires, the better. And for the antenna, I just came out the back of it, zip-tied an SMA pigtail on the end, and threw a lollipop on there. Nothing too crazy. Then to finish it off, I just put a couple more holes in the Lexan for wires, wired the Rush Tank to VBAT with a Dean's T, and we have an FPV Windego. And if you don't know about the Windego, it is a super fast little rock racer. And a rock racer is really just an off-road car that is 4-wheel drive, goes quickly over all terrain, and has a beastly motor in it. This motor is just plain massive. It's a very mean truck. It's really hard to drive. I actually have to have gyro stabilization for the steering just to keep it straight when I launch, because it just wants to twist and fly off the ground every time, even in dirt. It's kind of a beast. But let's not forget, this is an FPV drone channel, right? So there's got to be some drones involved. Well, I promise there are a small amount of drones involved. With this truck, I shot it from a stationary camera on the ground. Took DVR footage from my goggles. And also chased it with a 5-inch drone. Because, you know, I love drones. So my wife graciously agreed to drive this beast of a truck for me while I chased it with my CL1 5-inch and the GoPro Hero 10 bones. But to me, the real question was, does FPV bring anything cool to the realm of trucks like this? Is it even drivable? Is the video just going to look terrible and shaky and I can't tell where the road is? Well, let me show you the footage and let's find out.
Never hit the ground.
I can say that this Windego was actually pretty stinking hard to drive FPV. I couldn't tell where the road was most of the time, and it was awful shaky. But it was still a lot of fun, and I would definitely do it again. The Windego's not going to have its FPV guts removed anytime soon. They're going to stay in there. I'd like to know what kind of interesting things you've done with extra gear you had laying around that was made for drones, but wound up in whatever it might have wound up in. Leave me a comment below with the craziest thing that you've made FPV, and if you have a video to it, I'd really love to check it out. If this video has been fun, make sure to give it a like, consider subscribing. I appreciate all of my subscribers. We are very near 1,000 now, and when we hit 1,000 on the channel, I will be doing something special. Hint, it's a giveaway, but it's special, right? You know, free things are always special. Anyway, that's it for me and the Windego. Thanks for watching, and until later, I'll catch you next time.